Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, March 5th, and we're going to be playing some EverQuest Next Landmark. I'm just making my way back to my claim. I actually went this morning and paid a visit to Mr. Cold Knight's claim, which was awesome. I still have the map showing where it was on Liberation Basin, and so I'm just going to post that right there. And everyone should totally go and see it because man's got away with the microvoxels. Yeah, there was so much stuff over there. Hey, Old Rocks, good morning. Apparently it's going to be one of those days with my cat. Hopefully she calms down. But yeah, props, dude. The place was awesome. I really liked your bridge. I thought that was really, really cool. I was like, ooh, wish I could do something like that. So, awesome. So I'm just making my way back to my claim. I want to work today on the exterior of the house. I've been feeling sort of ADD when I'm doing the interior. So I think I'm gonna just focus on the exterior, and at least that way I can get some stuff done. Good morning, Prairie Dog. And I was giving you crap today, that sucks. So almost there. It was interesting. I saw a thread where people were talking about the rubber banding, where you continuously fall. And it was kind of interesting because one of the devs posted like, oh, well, it's because it's a graphics driver thing. And he was like, well, it's because the game client's perceiving that you're outside the world and that you're falling outside the world, so it's trying to put you back on solid ground. And oh, did it get jaggy? Why? Where it's trying to put you on solid ground. I don't know why I did that. And that's why you're continuously falling. And he was like, well, the solution to that would be to update your graphics card drivers, because he's saying it's probably like a physics problem. I don't know how much I don't know, kind of weird, because I know my drivers are up to date, and it always seems to happen when I'm running continuously and loading new area. So I don't know. Kind of feel like there might be something else to it. So just pulling back to kind of show you how it's looking so far. So yesterday we did that art piece back there in the dining room, did the dining room table. I did some kitchen stuff. So today I'm thinking exterior. I don't know, we'll see. I've been trying to figure out the selling resources thing they announced. Yeah! So the deal with that, at first I was just like the instant I read oh, they're going to be selling resources, the instant I read that, it sort of rubbed me the wrong way, where I was just like, whoa, because the immediate fear is pay to win, right? I was just like, that's scary, I don't know. But then the more I thought about it, the more I was sort of like, well, do I really care? Do I really care if, my neighbor, who just likes to build stuff, doesn't like, the exploration type progression? Do I really care that he bought his resources to make his cool last claim? Does that bother me? I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm not. The more I thought about it in those terms, the more I'm like, well, would I do it? No, because I like gathering. I think that's fun. I think it's a fun part of the game. But if someone else doesn't want to spend their time, well, it upsets me because of not letting players sell resources. Yeah, that's where it kind of gets tricky, right? Because I think anything anything that you can buy from like in real cash, I think you should be able to trade and either give to other people or sell to other people, because there shouldn't. I don't like the idea of there being stuff that you can only get with money that could potentially affect gameplay, right? I mean, it's one thing where it's like outfits and stuff. There's legal reasons for that, Perry. They wanted to, but the law said no. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm talking about is like I feel like anything that you can buy in the store, you should also be able to like trade in game and sell in game. And obviously resources, I'm as long as they have an economy, I'm sure resources will be in it. And that's pretty basic. The part that I honestly am I feel most strongly about is I really, really, really do not want to see, exactly, like 10,000 world wood for 10,000 gold. What I really, really want is, they mentioned stuff about, I think they called it point of need interfaces or a point of need interface for buying stuff. So like they specifically mentioned, like you could go into your collections tab and be like, oh, I only have 6,000 world wood, I need 20,000, buy some. What's the difference between selling the resources or building something from the resources and then selling that? I don't know. I think they can justify it by saying, well, it's how you put it together. You're not selling the resources themselves, you're selling the template. I mean, so that's and yeah, I don't see game building selling well either. I see that as being sort of more of a sharing mechanism, less of a profit making mechanism. What do I want to do here? I want a planner. I see that being more of a way to share stuff, rather than like players getting rich off of their awesome creations. I mean, if you get like a couple bucks out of it, then that's awesome. But I don't think we're going to be seeing like professional landmark players for templates. I just don't think the demand will be high enough. I hate it when it does that. I saw also that one of the devs was like, oh, like they were working on the selection tool, trying to make it less finicky, which is kind of good. Yeah. Well, yeah, I want to sell house lamps for 50 cents. I think the difference is like what you're selling it for, right? I don't think they're going to care if you, or I'm sure hoping they put in an interface to be able to buy, say, resources and stuff with in-game currency. If they don't do that and it's only, that would be messed up. I'm pretty darn sure, like player trading style, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a method for that. Oh, it needs to be longer. So my thing is really just more, I don't want to go over here and be like bombarded by, hey, you could just buy this, hey, you could just buy this. I don't want it like intruding on my game experience that much. I really would prefer to see, maybe a button right here, and it's not like, people will still do it, it's not like I don't think it's gonna have I don't think it would have that much of an impact on their actual sales. I did see the new rug, and I was like, hey, that looks like from that thread. I totally recognized it for that. That was super cool, and I liked the design too, because I think they did like a logo in their example, and I really liked yours. I'm still trying to figure out how you did the bridge though. Grabbing, actually, more iron. Actually, maybe not that far out. Maybe. I think, and this is just my opinion, it is because of the 60% take they get on their end. Yeah, I mean, they certainly have an incentive to do that system too. But I don't get mad about like them. I mean, it's going to be a free-to-play game. They have to make money. If they don't make money, the game goes away. You know, so you can't really blame them for wanting to have some profits, right? You know, I linked the picture. You might not have been here, so I'll link it again because it deserves to be plugged. That's the map to Cold Night's Place. Yeah, I mean, you have to. I don't know why I'm doing it this way, but I feel like it. You have to, you have to respect the fact that they have to make money, otherwise the game can't survive, right? But it's just, yeah, I mean, like, I just don't want to see it all over the place. I don't want to come in a game and constantly be bombarded like by what amounts to an ad. We'll see. Yeah, I think their term for it was point of need interface, and that's what I really don't want to see. But we'll see. They might, they've been really, I mean, as far as they're concerned, that's what Alpha's for, is getting, the players first. And why? Have you guys encountered that? Where, like, sometimes the translate arrows just stop working, and it just angles you? Like, even though it's highlighted and clearly would be. Have you guys gotten that at all? I've noticed that it's been happening to me increasingly. Like, it did it once, and I was like, that's weird. And I didn't do it for a while, and now I was doing it. Not super duper regularly, but fairly regularly. Can't remember if I grabbed grass or not. Apparently not. Or, actually. The whole thing is just suspicious to me. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying, like, it's one of those things where you can't blame them for wanting to have a sustainable business model, right? Like, you can't, I mean, we've paid for the game, but it's going to be free to play. So you can't really blame them for wanting to make sure that the game's going to last. Because if they don't have any money, there's not going to be any development, it's not going to last. Can't tell. Why no grass? It's weird too because it's not bleeding. Usually it bleeds. I wonder if it's because it's not full under there. I don't know why that would make a difference, but yeah, I saw some on the SOE post tracker that I definitely didn't grab iron though. See, what worried me is this is what was happening the other day, where the selection tool was just being really bizarre. When I was working on the, I think it was Saturday, and I was working on the bedroom inside, and I kept grabbing materials that. Yeah, I definitely grabbed the grass just now. I'm just waiting for my computer. Part of the shipment is in Kansas now. Yeah. I don't think it's going to come till tomorrow, but I might get lucky and it might come today. I ordered a cable so that I can, because right now I'm playing on one computer and then I've got a separate computer right here. It's all on the same desk, so it's pretty crowded. Because I only have the one monitor for the gaming PC. And so the other one, like, I can watch chat and just keep an eye on, you know, stuff, Twitch stuff. But I can't, really? Dude, I'm not grabbing iron. God, okay. Phew. Oh, is that what it might have been? I didn't think it was that. I thought the border was maybe. Okay, let's turn that on. Oh, maybe it was. Oh, I am at the edge. Righty then. I actually don't want to do that then. I want to. Oh shoot, this is gonna be difficult. Oh god, I hope I don't run into trouble now. So, and then I can scoot that over and heal it. That might change a little bit of what I was planning to do. Work with it though. The shipment in Memphis is the confusing one. Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, when I ordered my SSD, it started, I think it started somewhere in Salt Lake, or near Salt Lake, and then they decided they were going to ship it to, I forgot where. I want to say it was Virginia or something. They shipped it east, and then they shipped it over here. You know, I was like, why didn't you just ship it from Utah to here? Because it added today. Kind of weird. But I figured, I don't know, maybe they just had to like fill up a shipment or something. Well. Because I want to have a good buffer from the edge of my claim, because I know claim edges be funky when it comes to just working with them and stuff. But I finally ordered a cable so that basically I can use my it's an all-in-one, so I can use that and basically use it as a monitor for my gaming PC, which is gonna let me like what I really want to be able to do is, you know, watch XSplit and make sure everything's good over on this side, because I could avoid things like talking to myself for half an hour because I think I'm streaming when I'm not. Because yeah, that happened. I feel like a thing needs to be here, and I'm thinking it needs to be a lighting thing. I think a thing needs to be here. I'm guessing that it left this shipping station and then arrived at the airport there. Yeah, that is weird. What's kind of weird also, different topic, but you guys may remember I was having some serious trouble with this edge over here yesterday. And but it was smooth yesterday, and now when I loaded up the area, that got all jaggy again, and I don't really know why, because I didn't actually change the voxels. And I think yeah, I really want to put like a lighting thing right here, like a little tower-ish thing. Oh, you got the shipping cost refunded? That's nice. Who'd you go through? That's nice of them. I like the height there. I just don't know if it's kind of chunky. Little tiny light. That looks like it's glowing more than they were before. Did they, like, stealth fix that? Like, without taking the servers down? I kind of want to see what it looks like upside down. Oh shoot, what did I just do to myself? I gotta move it up first. Do I have all the tools? I think so. Yeah. I got the paint tool a little late, but yeah, I think I have them all. Yeah, I kind of like that because then I can hide the cap, which I kind of prefer. Well, that's kind of, almost kind of like that, like that with it exposed like that. I might texture this differently because this worked stone might be a little much. Yeah, I think I have all the tools. Pretty sure I have all the tools. I want to maybe actually do this in iron. Doc says, I got in last night to test something on my claim. Found out when you template something, you keep the resources. What? If you delete what you build after templating it, and the resources go back in your inventory. Well, yeah, I mean, you mean like templates don't use up resources? Yeah, because they don't. Having the template doesn't use them up. It's just when you place it. Yeah, I think it's a little big. Maybe I can make. Sure. Because that way get some light out here. And I think actually Yeah, templates are only blueprints. They don't hold resources. They don't. They only use up resources when you actually place them. Like, that's why you can't place a template if you don't have enough resources. Like if you template something that has pillows, like say my chairs, the template includes the pillows, the pillow props, and so if I don't have those in my inventory and I go to place it, you can't, right? Which is the same reason right now, because they made it so you can't template the plants anymore, but they also made it so they can't, like the procedurally generated plants and stuff. When people already had plans and they're already in the template, now they can't place those templates because they don't have the plants, right? So, and it used to work, but it doesn't anymore. And so that's why, like, you know, if you copied your house and it happened to have some procedurally generated plants in it, well, at the moment, it means you can't use that template at all. And they're working on a fix for it, but they haven't, as far as I know, they haven't done that yet. Whoa. I don't think I wanted that tall, though. Don't think I wanted that tall. Probably. I hope I have enough room to smooth it out. Just built the curve like you would think it would go with squares. Selected all, smooth a bunch, cut the ends off. Oh, okay. I getcha. Goes down. I think, maybe. Oh no, that's right. I just looked wrong. I wonder, you can see the platform from over here, but can you see, how much of this can you see? Some, I don't, maybe not stone, maybe this needs to be like more iron or stucco. I could do it in stucco too. I have stucco everywhere. All the stucco. Oh, so the official live stream is today at 4 p.m. And I found that thread that I was talking about. Looking for it now. Pretty sure I didn't lose it. Here we go. So I'm going to post that in chat. Yeah, that one I really want to go check out, because the pictures, I just really like some of the stuff that they... Oh god, this is going to be hard. I wonder if I should move over the wall just to have a little bit more buffer. That's weird. Oh, okay. Just to have a little bit more buffer for the smooth tool, because I want to be able to smooth out this land so it doesn't look quite so abrupt there, but I can't do it on the end of my claim, so maybe I kind of want to try doing this in stucco, but oh, wait a sec. Hey, Brother Connor. Good morning. That. So at least this way I have just a little bit more to bite for the smooth tool to bite. I actually really want to try this with stucco. But stucco bleeds. Never. Well, I could cap it. Yeah, maybe I'll do it in stucco and then just cap it. Like cap it with iron. Would I be willing to give us a quick tour? Absolutely. Let me just paint this before I forget what the heck I was doing. Okay, so I'll start over here so you can get a feel for it. So I'm working on modern. This is Modern House number 3. If you missed 1 and 2 on my channel page, there's a couple of links to YouTube videos of the tours for those. But I'm working on this. Basic idea was I really wanted an angled roof and I wanted a fin. So that's where the idea came from. And then I'll show you from the entry. So come in right here. I haven't really done much with the entryway yet. Come in like this. And I just wanted this to kind of break up. I've got so many angles going on everywhere. I kind of wanted to break it up a little bit with some curves. So then bedroom's over here. Also largely unfurnished. But there you go. With an obsidian ceiling. And then you can see into the kitchen. Down the stairs, which again needs art, but I haven't done it yet. So you can see a better look at the kitchen. Hey, Novospheres! And I wanted to change up. On the last 2 houses I've had, sort of traditional overhead cabinetry. So I figured I would spice it up and do shelves, which for a real house seems horribly impractical, but looks pretty cool for a game house. So still working on the pantry. Didn't get much done there yesterday, unfortunately. Need to fill it with more things, more pantry things. Got some furniture going on over here. Yeah, sure, Prairie Dog, go ahead. So used a mix of burled wood and striped wood to get that. I really do like, I added the skylight, which unfortunately since yesterday it was nice and smooth and today it decided to go jaggy on me, so hopefully I'll find a way to smooth that out. This is what I worked on yesterday. It's a little bit of modern art taking advantage of the fact that materials, when they're placed in the ground, will bleed into other natural materials. So that this is agate, copper, and both. I've got ruby and rubicite, and then use some inlaid ruby. And then I'm quite fond of the fireplace. I think that looks. I like how that looks. And then finally you come into the basement, which I've dubbed as sort of a workshop, man cave kind of a thing. Got some storage here, big old TV, and workbench, vault, forge, and salt table. I guess the voxel fault and the skylight will pop away when they add glass. Hopefully, yeah, because then I can close the gap. But I don't know if I'm going to be still working on this house once they add glass. Depends on, I guess, it depends on how quickly they add it. But since they didn't mention that it was coming like this, with this patch, which by the way, if you hadn't seen it, it's been moved to Thursday. They were trying to get the patch ready so that they could deploy it, I'm guessing, right before tonight's live stream, but it didn't happen. So they're going for it tomorrow, and I don't think they've set a time yet. They're doing it tomorrow. So if you're taking the day off work for the massive land grab, that will be for there will be for tundra and old growth forest, which I think the official name for that is temperate. They referred to it as old growth forest, but the actual in-game name for it is temperate. See old rocks? All right, so that's what I'm working on. And it is actually kind of convenient to be able to just like jump in through the window. But yeah. I mean, I think I prefer voxel glass just because then you can shape it. If it's a prop, a window prop, that would be kind of limiting. So I hope they don't do it that way actually. I feel like this should actually be a bit shorter. I feel like maybe it should be about that level. I've noticed it's a lot easier usually to paint or add a surface when you're above it. And then you have to find like the pixel that'll let you. Yeah, if it was a prop, you'd have to build around it. And you could, I'm sure you, I mean, like any prop, you could scale it, but then, I don't know, I just think that would be pretty limiting. I'd sure as heck prefer voxel glass. I mean, if it was the only, yeah, I mean, if it was the only way they could do it, I'm sure they'd give some variety, but you're never going to approach the level of variety that you could with, say, voxels. I really am looking forward to the new smooth tool though, because they've mentioned that you can basically sand away. So like, where it would actually, be like more like sandpaper, where it'll just continue to smooth and erode the surface until it could actually be completely gone. Like, the current smooth tool really is more of just like an edge sander. Like, it often kind of adds material, which is kind of weird. And SV can control style features in game with the look of props. But that's not like the game looks right now. They do need more door types. Oh my god, they need more door types. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's one of those things, like, they need a lot more of everything, right? Like, if they're trying to really, build in flexibility, which it really sounds like that's what they're going for, then yeah, I'm sure that all that will come with time. And I'm very much looking forward to see what comes with Tundra. I'm hoping that we see either with Tundra or Old Growth Forest, that we see a nice dark wood. I would love a nice dark wood. Because Worldwood, I can handle the fact that it's rare. I can handle it, but it's they changed the texture and it looks better. Like, it has a lot more definition now, but it's still it's a very heavily red texture, or color rather. It's very warm. I I would like to see, and it's not that dark. I mean, if you kind of use obsidian as the true black, I don't know, I'd like to see a really deep one and really deep color, and a really nice birch. Those are the two I'd really, really like to see. And I mean, I don't know, it seems like that gives you a lot more flexibility, so you're not trying to, you know, decide between like, well, plain wood's really kind of an oak kind of thing, maybe pine, you know, and you're not trying to decide between like, well, I want that or something really, really red. You know, I mean, the plain wood has almost a slightly green cast. I don't know if you've noticed that. Like it's not the warm. It's interesting. It's kind of a yellow wood, which is kind of weird. Sun's only barely coming up, so it's gonna throw a funny cast on it, but right here looks fine. But I feel like the plain wood takes a yellow cast or a greenish cast. I'm hoping they add a prop or something that you can attach to voxels and have movement. Ooh, that would be so cool. And I mean, they have in there, like, it's in the promo picture, there's like a water wheel. I'm kind of interested to see, you know, is that more of like a EverQuest Next type of thing where they can put it in the game but not something we'll really be able to manipulate, or is that something like, hey, you know, maybe that's how they plan to get water to float up, right? Because like they made a big point of like, you'll be able to that got messed up too. They made a big point that like water, you're going to be able to divert it to your claim. Whenever it is they add it, because they're having some issues with it. But if you live on a hill, it's problematic because water doesn't flow up. So, I mean, I don't know if there'll be sort of like a redstone equivalent. I mean, I know they plan to do sort of a redstone equivalent, but if that's how you'll get water, I don't know. It's kind of funky. Paint will be awesome. Confirming. That's really neat. Where'd you find that, Relic Hunter? Wow, that's really cool. I like those trees. I really, really like those trees. And you know what they look? They look dark to me. By the way, sorry for the noise. The air conditioning is like right here. But at the moment it's quite warm, and so I kind of need it. It's like 77 in here. It's kind of warm. In the morning, I have a lot of windows, and so the sun just comes right in, and it's like a little greenhouse. So it's really hot. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking like edging in iron, maybe. Solid spark. Yeah, that's what I thought. Or, I mean, yeah, actually, we were talking about that the other day, weren't we? So, in your collections, let's see if I can find it. This guy. The small bluish ore gives off the constant static charge. Sounds like electricity to me. Sounds like redstone to me. So, I think burled wood, it does take some time to collect, but I think it's kind of balanced. Especially bearing in mind that they've said several times that that progression in EverQuest Next Landmark is going to be, it's going to take a lot less resources than it currently does. They've talked about it. I don't remember the numbers per se, but that it just will take a lot less. You know, where it's not going to take 3,000 burled wood to make a freaking saw table, right? That it's going to be more based on achievements and discovery and stuff like that. Let's see. I want to see how this looks. Looks fair. Looks like At least matches the house. Goes with it. Yeah, like I went sort of burled wood crazy last night. So, because I've done all my floors in burled wood, and I've estimated that probably took 7,000 or 8,000. It doesn't go very far. Like you think that you've got a whole bunch, and then you do a room and it's all gone. But and then I went and collected, I don't know how much, but I have like about 6,000 now. I don't think I think burled wood is all right in terms of like resource rarity, because I don't know. Did I get a builder and then I just totally missed it? I'm going to build a few stairs and then hopefully copy and paste. I did get a builder. Yeah, 100 logs each. Crazy. Yeah, it's the patch took it from, it used to be 100, which is unfortunately when I built most of my stuff, my picks and stuff. It used to be 100 for a plank for burled wood, and that's no longer the case. It's 60 now, which it's still a lot, but it's certainly doable. It's definitely doable. The bleeding of the textures bothers me. Yeah, I mean, there's times where it's really handy. Like I wouldn't have been able to do this art down here without the bleeding. Like, it would have looked really pixelated, right? But so there's times when it's really handy, mostly for art type kinds of stuff. But when you're working with stuff, and it seems sort of hit or miss too. Like normally iron doesn't bleed at all, but for whatever reason, with grass it wants to bleed. Yeah, exactly, Railcon. They're never going to make it exactly dead on for progression for everybody. They're never, if you lower it anymore, people will be like, no, it's too easy. There's no, I'm done with the game, and it's so boring because there's nothing left to do. Right? So they have to try to find some middle ground. I've got just a little bit more tea. I always forget. I'm so bad about I'll make a whole pot of tea before the stream, and I get so bad about drinking it. I don't know why. I'll just forget to, and then it gets cold, and your heating tea is wrong. It's just wrong. It doesn't taste right. First world problems. That's all I can say for that. I think I'm going to just stair step it. Last time I used the line tool on these rails, and it was just kind of more trouble than it was worth, where I think it actually would have looked better just to have it step down. So I think I'm going to do that this time. Just have to find a good... And I know this is kind of similar to what I did on the last house, but to be fair, it really kind of completes the look well, I think. It really adds a lot of balance on this side. Keeps it from all the stuff being on the right side of the house, or on that end of the house. And it really just keeps gives it more variety. Problem is there'll be a shortage of trees if the conversion rate is too low or too high. I think that they can at least counter that by manipulating the spawn mechanics. I think we'll be okay in that sense. Because they can just, if anything, just adjust them to respawn faster. And obviously there's a limit to how much you want to do that, because then it starts to be kind of comical where it's like, hey, I just chopped that tree down and it's back already. I mean, we've all seen that in a million MMOs where it's just like, hey, look it's the evil warlock that I just was supposed to kill for my quest, and look, he's back. We've all encountered that before. I've been farming some striped a bit, and they come back once I'm down the line. Yeah, like usually when I'm making like a circuit, by the time I make my way back, they've respawned. And I feel like this is a nice little spot for maybe a short landing and then continuing down. So it's not completely and utterly just like this huge staircase that anyone would just hate to climb. Whoop. Legendary gold axe. Yeah, I saw a thing from Dexella that they're actually going to make that a little bit easier to get, just because it's almost it's funny how extremely rare those are, especially when compared to like legendary picks and stuff, which are rare too, but they're not like, you can make them, you can get them, people have them. Maybe I want this to come out just a little bit higher. Or a little bit farther rather, and then stair step. Is there really a point to getting a legendary item? I haven't bothered. I can demonstrate that a little bit for you. I happen to have, thanks to Vengeance, aka Relic Hunter, who very kindly, very generously gave me a legendary. I have a legendary indigo pick now. I guess he had a spare, and it really does make a nice difference. I mean, I can show you real quick the stats. So, Imperial Indigo, 239, 75 speed, 111 damage versus 294 size, 90 speed, and 188 damage. And yes, it does make an appreciable difference that you actually notice when you're gathering. It does actually make a really appreciable difference. I'm trying to find something other than just, well, I can just whack the ground, I guess. So, the normal pick, you can see the size of the reticle. You know, when I make a divot, it's that size. Although, I have noticed that there is some funkiness going on where if you have like a higher level pick equipped, it'll act like that's what you're always using. I have noticed that. For the H. Yeah, like I'm supposed to be using the normal pick, so you can see there. well, the lighting's really bad here. But the point is, it makes a really nice difference, and I definitely notice the difference when I'm mining. It is a lot better. And for axes, the difference can be ridiculous because speed really, really, really matters. Like even just going from, I had a fast green pick and now I have a just regular blue pick, and even that difference has been huge, like where it just makes it so much more efficient. So it's just a question of how much do you care? How much do you like actually find yourself gathering stuff, and do you care if you're efficient about it? You know, if you feel like, well, I'm just going to be watching Netflix anyway, and so chopping, I don't know, 20% faster doesn't make that big a difference to me, then don't bother with it. But I'm a fan of efficiency, so I like it. The only downside to getting a legendary pick right now is that they're gonna wipe it. No, that's true. But as I've said before, like I feel when people are like, well, it's just gonna wipe, it's gonna, you know, we're just gonna lose the progress, so I shouldn't do anything. Or they use it as a reason to not do stuff. There's a point where it's true, but I feel like that's sort of a cop-out, you know, where it's just like, hey, you know, there's value in the fact that you're playing a game and having fun. Like, just because, you know, the results aren't going to last forever. I don't think that's a valid, or not valid, but I don't think it's like saying, well, I'm never going to upgrade my computer, I'm never going to get a new computer, because there's always going to be a better one. That's true no matter what. If you wait forever, if you're constantly waiting, like, well, something better is going to come out, you're never going to buy a computer. Wouldn't you rather just have a computer? Like, you know, it's the same thing. Did I see? I kind of trying to decide whether I want to put iron on the side or not. I think I will, just to stop the bleed. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Relic, because he made 2, and then he had a second one. I will be glad when Caverns are in 2. When they put it on the roadmap, they said Caverns and the biomes were kind of in a similar state of progress, and since we're getting biomes now, or, well, tomorrow, I think we can assume that caves are coming soon. But caves are probably when they are going to wipe, because that's going to massively change the distribution of stuff, and massively change, like, I mean, it's going to change the island structure, right? Because now all this, you know, materials and stuff are going to be underground rather than on the surface. So, rather, you know, tier 2 islands, tier 3 islands won't exist. Everything's going to be just an island, and you go to different depths or different biomes to find different materials. Plus, once you make that legendary, the farming is way faster. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, I feel like it's kind of a waste to try to be like, well, I'm gonna wait until it's safe to build or safe to, you know, like it's not gonna get taken down, because you have the templates anyway. They don't get rid of the templates. So if you want to recreate your stuff, you can. Totally can. Yeah, don't burrow a hole up into a lake. Yeah, exactly. But I've seen that I've gained some new viewers. First of all, welcome. And second of all, if you're new to the channel, you should totally follow me, because it'll make me feel really, really good. And that way you get notified when I go live, which for EverQuest Next Landmark is Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific, and Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific. And then for other games like EVE Online and Minecraft, there's a little bit of variety, so that's why it's really handy to follow me, both here and on Twitter, because it lets you know when I'm live. Something's not right about this, but I'm gonna keep going. See if it gets right. Yeah, a lot of the current claims will be underwater. Like, a lot of what's appearing as desert right now is like ocean floor or lake, the lake bed, right? So, like, I have a feeling, like, you can kind of see the way this is, looks like a lake bed to me, right? So I'm pretty sure all this will be underwater, and obviously the mountains will be okay, but they don't want to just suddenly have your claim underwater, so they're going to do a wipe there, and again, because of the resource distribution. Fortunately, they've avoided it for this patch. There will not be a wipe this week, and they've made very clear they will absolutely warn us when it happens. They're not just going to drop it and be like, hey, look, a wipe. But although, I mean, I feel like there's also an aspect of it's alpha. We should absolutely be prepared that at any freaking time, maybe the servers get unstable and they lose data. It's alpha. You gotta just go with it. Just build, just do stuff, and just let it happen. Let it happen. I'm trying to kind of match it so that I have the step downs in a similar spot. Sometimes it's best to save your place in pieces. Yeah, that's the other thing. If you have a really full claim, like if you've absolutely used all your space, I saw this on Geek Domo's channel where he templated it, he had it, but for whatever reason, like because his template was so huge, when he went to plop it down, like it would crash his client, and so he essentially can't. He has the template, it's there, but he can't use it. Which I'm sure eventually that's something that they'll, fix, but at least for now. So if you have something really big, save it in pieces. Especially because the templates are limited by voxels. There is a limit on your templates, but it's by how many voxels they contain. So you can do like a ton of little templates, furniture and stuff, or you can do, like save your entire claim. Like I think so if you were to fill every single voxel in your entire claim, you could do it like 4 times and template it. Yeah, exactly. In alpha, if something breaks, like you gotta expect that that one of the things they may do to fix it is wipe everything. And you kind of just got to be like, well, if that happens, like obviously you don't want it to happen, but if it does, you got to be just like, well, I'll rebuild. It's alpha. We're helping them improve their game, right? We're helping this game be as awesome as it possibly can be for launch, and helping them determine, like, you know what, players don't really respond well to XYZ. Players don't really dig it. I mean, like, look at, an example of that is look at microvoxels. They had zero anticipation of microvoxels. They were just like, oh, I guess you can do these things. Like they were super surprised by it. And, but easily microvoxels, maybe what if they were something that actually broke the game? Like, they have to be able to do something about it. And they have mentioned that, microvoxels are essentially a beneficial bug at this point. And if for something, if they ever had to like change voxels in some way, it's possible that we would lose the way microvoxels work, because, if they had to change the way, the fundamental sort of workings of voxels, that bug, they go away. in Tor Alpha we were getting wiped every few days. Yeah, jeez. That is one game I did not do the alpha. I think I did early launch or something. Like that was one of those games I was so excited. I was like, man, an MMO version of, you know, one of my favorite games of all time, Knights of the Old Republic. I was like, great, a multiplayer version. Fan-freaking-tastic. Like my ideal game at this point, or like what I want them to just make a KOTOR 3. Not even multiplayer, just make a KOTOR 3. A new version of it with, like, you know, for a modern platform. I'd be like a kid on Christmas. I'd be so excited. But Tor happened instead. Microvoxels will turn into eremites and eat all the world wood. Oh my god! The eremites. Eremites. Now y'all are gonna... I'm telling you, that's gonna be my claim to infamy. It's gonna be eremites, and everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, who the hell let this happen? And I'm just gonna be like, this chick. Yeah, Tor was a letdown. I wanted to love it. And honestly, I don't even know why I didn't. I honestly don't know why I didn't. It's one of those, like, it just felt off. Like, the combat felt off. Everything just felt a little off. And it's one of those, like, how ridiculous is that, right? Oh, it feels off. It did. I don't know. Like, the combat felt clunky. It felt not smooth. I don't know. Eremites, it's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing. I promise. Yeah, I'm seriously though, like, this house would be so freaking toast if they were actually, you know, if they had some sort of, like, if this were a real world house. Oh my god. It'd be gone in a year. Oh, and since I saw Rama, good morning, by the way, some really exciting news. Rama, one of your fellow viewers, has super generously, he's donated a couple of Explorer Pack keys for Alpha. And so I'm going to be giving them away. And so what I think I'm going to do is, I think when I'm at 108 subs, at least as of the beginning of this cast, I think when I hit, or not subs, followers, I think when I hit, I'm going to go with 150. I think we can make to 150. 150 followers. I'm going to give those suckers away. And a couple of you guys who are watching and don't have the game, all you have to do is be here and be a follower. Yeah, right? How awesome was that? You should just, like, see me when I opened up that message. I was like, what? So, and all thanks to Mr. Rama. 1,000 or bust. I'm gonna go for 150. That's a 50% increase from what I had yesterday. So it's aggressive for me, I know. But yeah, so you guys, and you know, there's no cost to you. You just have to be a follower, and you'll have to be there. So once we hit 150 followers, I will, you know, once we hit that, then probably the next day, I'll do a giveaway. And so you'll just have to be here. So that's going to be super exciting. But that way, because I know there are several of you that don't have the game, and especially since I'm still waiting to hear back from Duxella about my link. So we'll see there. But then at least two of you can join me in EverQuest Next Landmark. And yeah, it's total props to Rama. Yeah, that's another, like, God, the community for EverQuest Next Landmark is amazing. Especially, like, the more I get into, doing stuff with other games, where I'm just like, man, y'all are a bunch of nice, very nice people. Thank you, Rama. Let's see, I think I'm gonna do another landing here. How big did I make this other one? I made it 11 deep. God, it's warm in here. Killing me. I guess I'm drinking hot tea, but still. Whew. Question for Era. And good morning, Dutch Tiger. Are you thinking of moving to one of the new islands? That's really tough for me. That's a really tough decision for me, just because I really, really love my claim. I was so excited. I was excited to find it. I had sort of that joy of just like finding it and getting it. So I felt like an accomplishment just finding the damn thing. And look at this view, guys. I know it's interrupted by a big fat claim box, but guys, it's so nice. I don't know. It's going to be really hard. Like, if I were to pack up and leave this place, I'd be hard. Even the fact that it's, I could template it and stuff, so I'm not going to lose my work. But still, that would be hard. How warm is it here? I'll get a Celsius calculator, 1 sec. It's 77 degrees Fahrenheit. So Fahrenheit to Celsius is 25. 25 Celsius. Okay. It's hot. And I swear it feels warmer than 77 too. It feels like, I think because this entire wall is windows, that entire wall is windows, and the sun is right freaking there. And it's, like I have to lower the shade just so I don't get blinded when I'm playing. So, I mean, I'm not complaining because I know being a little warm, being a little, I'm gonna have to get my fan, I know that's a much better situation than the opposite, which I know you guys on the East Coast are getting storm after storm after storm, and certainly snow is nothing new for. I know I have a couple followers in. I have some in Germany. I have some in Norway. I'm sure it's pretty nippy over there, but this warm weather, can't handle it. Last time I had it that warm, it was in August. Yeah, it'll be about that temperature in August too. It's San Diego. We don't have weather. It rained for a couple days last week, and everyone lost their minds. Cool Night says my claim location isn't great, but I still have that same feeling. Yeah, it's just sort of like, especially with how difficult it was at first to get claims. Like, it was just so hard, and so it felt like such a accomplishment to find one, especially because I actually really love it. It's overlooking some nice tropical forest, and it's on a mountain, which has some it creates some building challenges, but at the same time, it's just like, it provides a lot of kind of inspiration too. 46 degrees in here in the Netherlands. Is that 46 Celsius or 46 Fahrenheit? Because 46 Celsius, that would be freaking hot. So I'm assuming you mean Fahrenheit, right? See, I was a bio major, and so we always used Celsius, but you weren't, like, especially in labs and stuff, when you're doing stuff in Celsius, you're normally not, it's not environmental temperatures. You're doing stuff like, heat, this flask to 120 Celsius. Well, okay, it doesn't really. And I'm not that good at sort of real world comparison. 46 Fahrenheit. Ooh, yuck. Cold. Not for me. Yeah, I mean, I'm very, very sensitive to temperature change. I have a thyroid problem, which my thyroid is virtually non-functional. Like, it does a little bit on its own, but pretty much I'm almost entirely dependent on synthetic thyroid hormone, which fortunately they can make synthetic and you just take a pill and you're all good. It's not like insulin or something where it would get digested and so you have to, inject it or whatever. So fortunately, because it's a steroid hormone, it doesn't get digested. Yeah. So I can just take a pill and be good. But it does mean that I don't respond very well to, like, homeostasis, homeostatic regulation. Got some science out. So I get cold really freaking easily. But I also get hot because I have no regulation. So actually I'm kind of digging what this is doing. I'm kind of liking it. I don't know if I want to keep this exact type of stair step. I might alter like the actual thing, but yeah, I'm totally not moving to Canada. That's not happening. Or I went to Seattle for like a week. That's not, I mean, it wasn't, when I was dressed for it, it was alright. But, I don't know. Pretty stinking cold. Probably one more. Apparently I missed something in chat. Ron was saying, even if you shove all your stuff in your vault, and I'm like, what? Oh, so Dutch Tiger said, yeah, it's a beautiful spot you got. I am moving myself because I don't have the best spot. See, I think any spot you can make it work, unless, like, the only thing I think the exception would be is if you were like on the tippy top of a hill and you just have very little space. But even then, you could just chop off the top of the hill and just build on it. Like in my claim, because it's a very, very steep angle, so what I end up doing is building into the mountain quite a bit, which presents some problems, occasionally like this, where I'm trying to deal with the edge of the land and stuff. But for the most part, I think it actually makes it more, it makes it look like it belongs there. Does that make sense? I don't know. Selection tool. I think I want to. I don't know if it's just because I work with stucco a lot, but I feel like the visual thing for the selection tool should be a little bit brighter or more distinct. I feel like it's hard to see. Some problems like aramites. Guys, you're gonna give me a bad rap. I'm trying to make some friends. And then design. I just know. Devs are gonna be like, dude, aramites, or teramites. We gotta stick these in the game. And then everyone's gonna be like, Era, what the hell? So I know this is gonna happen, and I'm gonna just get the worst rep ever. Seriously though, this right here is bad. This will be gone. I can't get over it. It's one of those things where I'm just like, oh, the reality of it is so harsh. Oh. I already lifted my claim, getting ready for tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know. I so badly, I've been looking forward to both Tundra and once I kind of wrap my head around about what the old growth forest would look like, I've been really looking forward to that too. It sounds really pretty. But my claim, though, because it's one of those, like, you know, there may be others like it, but this one is mine. You know, it's just one of those, like, type of things where you're just like, is it rational? No, not at all. But I don't know. Claim loyalty, is that a thing? I don't know. God. Loading tooltip. Be careful building on the side of the mountain. You may get eremites. Oh God. Oh God. I'm gonna be hated. I'm gonna be a scourge of the EverQuest Next Landmark community. Everyone's gonna be like, oh my God, she's the one who ruined the game with eremites. And we need a camera on Era's face when she sees it. Well, at this rate, I'm trying to stream. I'm basically trying to stream more. Stream all the things, right? I'm trying to stream more. So at this rate, that's a decent possibility because I'm trying to stream more some more Eve and some more, well, just in general, some more of all the things. So it's quite possible. Just like, and I am exceptionally unobservant when it comes to finding that kind of stuff. Like, I think it was Cold Night. People pointed out the launcher where I'm like, oh, your face is on the launcher. And I'm like, really? Is it? Really? Totally was. And I had been obviously I'm playing the game, so I buzzed right past it. Buzz. Insect joke. What do I do in EVE Online? Currently working on faction, or doing some faction warfare PvP. But my main background in EVE is space eremites. Oh my God. It's like those, were they nanites? Is that what they were called in that movie? Oh my God, what was it called? The G.I. Joe movie. And they would like eat metal. It's like the space equivalent. But yeah, so I used to live in wormholes in EVE, and that's where my background is. I feel like this shouldn't be like that now. I feel like now that the wall, it's past the wall, it should not be like this. I have an eye for detail though. PlanetSide 2 has, really? PlanetSide 2 has minutes? Oh God, so they might actually do it. Guys, be careful. Caution, I encourage caution. Oh God. I feel like, maybe I can just step it down more. Hated those tiny buggers. Or like, oh yeah, the Stargate replicators. Those creeped me the heck out. Those really creeped me out. Hey again, old rocks. Lunch break at work. Way to go. Like, I'm increasing my productivity, I swear. Oh yeah, Trevor Hertz. Yeah, I've seen a couple Stargates. I've seen like the one that looked like from Atlantis, and I've seen like an old school Stargate as well. Only in screenshots. I haven't seen them in game yet. But yeah, I think for the very first screenshot thread, big old one that they, like the very first one, someone, well, a couple people posted Stargates. Yeah, I started hating the replicators more than I ever hated the Wraith. Because the Wraiths at least seemed to have a motivation that made sense. Like survival. Makes sense. You know, like we were like, well, can't really, you know, get too down on them for like wanting to live and stuff. Like, I don't know, you know. It's like, you know, they didn't choose their biology. They didn't choose to, you know, like be dependent on, you know, draining the life force out of people. They didn't, you know, they didn't know. But the replicators, they creep me out. Yes, lower is better. I had decided that lower is better. It needs to be lower. But I don't really know. I don't want the stairs to be exposed. Replicators only had bad coding. They didn't choose either. Well, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, but I don't know. They were easier to hate. Because there were Wraith that like totally like, oh, I can't even remember his name. I must say it was like Kyle or something really ridiculous. What was the name of that Wraith that like they kept bumping into him and he would just totally be like, yeah, I'll help you out, whatever. Like I think, God, I can't even remember the name of the captain anymore. It's been so long since I watched it. Shepard. I think like the one that Shepard was like imprisoned with at one point or another by the. Actually, no, that is the villain that I hate more than any of the others. What was that stupid planet that like they were like very like they had like a very World War II or World War I. Was it World War I? They had a very, very, very like militaristic. Turned into a human by force. Yeah. What was? Oh, like it started with a C. Oh, what was that planet? Where they were trying to develop nukes, and like they were totally assholes about it. Like I hated them more than any. Like more than I ever hated the Wraith, more than I ever hated the Replicators, more than any of that. I hated those bastards. Just because they were such freaking jerks. I like the humor of Stargate Atlantis, especially in the episode where Talc and Ronan meet. Yeah, the one with the scars. I can even picture the dude's face. It was They had like the uniforms, like where they posed as like being very like prairie people, like these people of the land, you know, and like they were like, oh, help us with our crops, and they were like, sure. And they're like, oh, and by the way, we're developing nukes in our secret underground freaking base. And we totally love to kill you. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a good show. I liked that show. I like that show because, oh hey, are you watching the stream? Founder Saruman? Are you on the stream? Shout out if you're in the stream. And if you're not, I guess I'll know in a couple minutes when no one says anything. I liked that show because I feel like it never got ruined. You know, like there's so many shows where they just do something like that completely goes against the character of the show in general, and I just can't get over it because I'm just like, what? Like, lost anyone? Lost anyone? There's an example. Lost started out so cool. What happened? Bye, Sarah. Bug me. They were like, I can't remember now if they were like World War II-ish or World War I-ish. I'll say World War II-ish. What were they? And you had that redhead with the like crazy curly hair, and she wanted to avenge her father, who was just an idiot, and she totally like blamed everybody for it. I thought that was outside my house. Where? What? Huh? More like 2-ish. Yeah, I can't remember now. It's been so long since I saw the show. I always liked when they had some culture, like almost every culture was modeled after some, some inhuman time period, where it's just like, huh, and they all speak English. How about that? Like, how crazy, Like, yeah, we're dealing with alien life forms, but they totally speak English. Make it 11. Sirens? Oh, that's gonna bug the crap out of me. And I don't want to sit here and be like, okay, I'm gonna get on the Googles while you just like sit and watch me Google. But yeah, dang it! Who were they? I can't even remember. And I figured out this is why. The reason I've had trouble with this is this needs to be much shorter. Oh, police siren? Really? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I was just like, huh? I thought that was outside my house. What are you talking about, Cold Night? What? Gotcha. I gotcha. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I live downtown, and so there's city noises all the time. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I got confused. I was like, Cold Night, you know my house. You've been watching all the time. Why do you think this looks like your place? I'm like, what did I do? Huh? I'm a little slow on the draw at times. I don't know. Okay, I like how I did it on this side. So I brought it out to the edge, which is need to. Oops. Do that. Ah. Do that. And do this. Yeah, my mic is kind of overly sensitive to that stuff. Because at the moment I'm just using it's like a webcam and the same webcam mic. I don't have a super pro mic like with the little pop filter and the boom and all that stuff. I don't have all that yet because those things cost like $130. So until I can save up for that, we're just gonna have to hear some sirens, I guess, because that's the best I can do. I have a Turtle Beach headset for the Xbox, but the mic quality on it is, trust me, this is better. So I don't know. I have to fix this too. So this is why everything takes me so long to build, because I just sit here and tweak it. I'm just like, oh, I don't quite like that. I like that. I like that. I'm just like, swish my hair back and forth. I don't know why I was doing that. That's funny. Oh, is that 3 voxels off? No, just 2. Okay. Just making sure those 2 match. That looks weird. Maybe this isn't what I wanted. Oh, no. Too bad we can only have one character. I'd make one named Burglar and plant him inside the house. Oh my god! Oh no. Although, I'm just saying, whoever lives in this house, they're freaking loaded. Like like, even if, you know, in-game economics aside, because, like, all their floors are made out of burled wood, like, aside from sort of the in-game value of burled wood, like, can we just take a sec and just decide, like, okay, they have, like, you know, a table for 6 that's in friggin' solid iron with rubies. And, like, look at this house. Like, it's very... when I kind of came up with the style for it, I was kind of thinking, like, something you might see in, like, Malibu, or maybe Miami. I'm just saying, these guys are loaded. Like, and who has a kitchen like this? Who has a floor plan like this? It's clearly custom. So, if I were going to plant a burglar somewhere, this one. This one. You know? So, how did I do it down here? Did I? Okay. Shoot. Select, please. Yeah, the selection tool has definitely been giving me grief, and I don't think it's just like my hand getting lazy. I don't think that's what's happening. Like, I think it's actually acting kind of funny. And I kind of like that because it's sort of, it keeps the railing so it's functional, but I don't know, I like the shape, how it's sort of irregular like that. I don't know. Yeah, that's really weird. I think I'm gonna keep this high though. Is that like smoothing and then unsmoothing? Is that what that's doing? I guess I should like delete a little bit. Do this. Give it some help. Give the poor smooth tool like stuff to do. Cause it's like, but I can only handle edges. Please only give me edges. Did I see the dev diary? I actually have the link. Let me post that because it's awesome. The link. Why do I have so much crap open? How does this happen, guys? How do I have so many tabs? Actually, I can probably just find it the old-fashioned way, a little bit faster. Video. This one. Give me the YouTube link. Sorry, guys. One sec. Yes, a cat, yeah, the Genai. Oh my god, freaking Genai. Oh, okay. So I just posted a video. That basically they go from start to finish on the stuff that I originally, like when I graduated high school. That was what I wanted to do. One of those parts of the process. Like I wanted to do either like, I didn't really ever get into animation, but stuff like, you know, texturing and modeling and stuff like that. Like that was all stuff I was super into, and paint, you know, like concept art. I knew I wanted some part in that process, and so like that made me really excited that I'm gonna try to smooth it this way. Oh. It works. Kind of. So it made me really excited that they really highlighted those people, because I think a lot of the like artists in games are kind of unsung heroes because they're not doing game mechanic stuff so much, but they're the reason it looks so freaking cool. So I was really excited to see that. Plus the information was just really good. It was a quality video. So check that link out. It's really quite awesome. It's not very long either. The Janai were the ones with the underground facility trying to make the nukes, yeah. But in SG1 they also had a culture trying to make... so I didn't watch SG1, so I don't know how to say this one. Nakwadria? Losing nerd cred, I'm sorry. Yeah. Freaking Janai. They just ruined all the days. Like the thing where they try to take over Atlantis, just like, oh, I'm like, so frustrating, so annoying. I clearly care a lot about these things, you can tell. But yeah, and just in case you've been living under a rock and you didn't know that, but you know, so tonight is going to be the official live stream on the official EverQuest Next Landmark channel, which is EQN Landmark. I've got them followed if you're just like, what? You know, you can check through my follow links and see it. They're doing their official stream tonight, and I'm very excited about it. They do that at 4 p.m. Pacific. No, not Stucco. So that's going to be cool. And then they always have some really interesting, they usually talk about the state of the game, sort of like what they're working on or what, you know, stuff that's coming up. And then they usually have some building tutorials. Like last week, they did one on arches, and then they had Dave Georgeson do microvoxels in his freaking cool industrial type, where it's like it looked like a geothermal plant or something. Like, I don't know. Really, really neat looking. And so if you've got some time, actually I don't want to do that. If you've got some time tonight, you should totally check it out because it's going to be awesome. I found it a shame that they quit with the Stargaze Universe series. I did not like Stargate Universe. I was just fine with the fact that I was one of those people that I was just fine with the fact that they decided not to keep going. Yeah. Totally okay with it. Where's Dave Georgeson's claim? It is... Oh, I had the actual link to it. Like where it was like... where they showed it on the map. Oh, I had that in a post. I know I can't... Oh! Dave Georgeson's claim is on Liberation Bluff, on the far west, on the edge of the desert. I actually came across this site, and I'll tell you where I just got that. So I just put the link in chat, and it's basically this guy, like if you can't make it to the live stream and you really want to stay current, this guy puts up basically like notes from the live stream. So if you can't make it, it's really handy to kind of keep up. Wow, that's really high. Maybe I'll make this higher and then do like a thing here. Okay. Too bad we don't have a proper science fiction series now. Doctor Who? Yeah, Doctor Who. Doctor Who's good. I mean, it's a slightly different flavor, but it's got British humor, so that's awesome. Although I think my favorite Doctor will forever be David Tennant. Yeah. Hey, you know, yeah, I mean, hopefully, I don't know. Does anyone know of anything good coming down the pike, like planned? I don't keep up with TV as much anymore just because I was talking about the other day, I actually canceled my cable just to kind of save some money. I was like, I can have my freaking $200 cable that is charging me way too much for something I rarely use, or I can start saving for a processor. The decision wasn't that hard. Yeah, Doctor Who. Yeah. I mean, Doctor Who's not exactly new, but still good. I watched all of Eureka. It was pretty good most of the time. Oh yeah, at least we had Star Citizen. We can live our own space opera. Actually, the Eve, like, if you keep up with Eve current events, I'm sure that'll qualify for drama and stuff. Craziness happening over there. CPU for the win, abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, I mean, it's been like, since Star Citizen just came up, what I'm hoping is that, because they're debuting the dogfighting with PAX East, which will be, it's like mid-March. So I'm hoping by then, maybe I'll be able to afford, that's not where I wanted that. That's not where I wanted that at all. I'll hopefully be able to afford a new processor, because the way they keep talking about how they're going to how damage is going to work and how there's like a million different ways your ship can break apart, that sounds to me like it's just going to be murder for CPUs. And since I probably want to share the experience and probably want to stream it, XSplit is a freaking CPU hog. It takes up tons of resources, and so if the game is trying to use it and then XSplit's trying to use it, that thing is going to be, at least mine, it's old enough where it's going to be completely overloaded and just not know what to do. I've never played Eve. Is it possible for a new player to start now? Absolutely. Or would everyone else be way too powerful? One of the stereotypes with one of the common misconceptions with Eve is that if you weren't around when it got started, that you're screwed. And it's not the case because of the way skill time, and you think, well, but skills are trained in real time, so, obviously you've been playing for longer, you're gonna have an advantage. Well, yeah, there's an advantage, but you can easily, if you play for a couple months, you can train enough so that you're actually just as good at that one thing, maybe flying frigates. You're just as good at that ship as someone who's been around. It's just that those people who've been around can then, they're that good at frigates, they're that good at cruisers, they're that good at, all the ships, right? Eve does have a heck of a learning curve, so definitely get social with that game. Definitely get social. Like, don't try to play it all by yourself and figure it out on your own. You'll not like it. Almost guaranteed you are not going to like it. To give it the proper experience, you really need to find some friends, meet people in game, and learn how the game works from someone who's been around. Yeah, definitely a game that is very socially dependent. Especially because the PvP is, at least for me, I mean, obviously your mileage may vary, but the PvP in that game is just so much more engaging than any sort of, the PvE is quite repetitive. So if PvP is really not your jam, I don't know. Oh, that was actually... Okay. Nah, whatever. Yeah. I don't, let's see. I missed something clearly. We will have stories of people playing 12 hours of Oculus Rift style and going to bed in game and out of game same time. Oh my god. Yeah. I don't know. I maybe I'm just like kind of weird, but I feel like having something on your head would make it, I don't know if I'd want to have to turn my head that much. How lazy is that? I don't want to have to turn my head. I don't know. And yeah, Dutch Tiger, there is stuff. I'm not saying there's not stuff. There's mining, there's trading, there's missioning, there's there's a lot of stuff to do. You know, manufacturing. You can do that kind of stuff and not get involved in PvP at all. You can stay in high sec and be relatively safe. Not completely safe, but you'll be relatively safe. And that's fine. But I think the much more engaging features of the game are PvP based. I think. And that's coming from a player, you know, obviously I enjoy stuff like this where, you know, ain't no PvP here, right? Like, and eventually I'm sure there's going to be, you know, some version of, you know, they're going to get some version of that going, but at least for now, obviously there isn't. But yeah, that game for me, PvP is where it's at. The dogfight module will be out after the 10th of April. Yeah, it's like right around PAX East. That's when they're debuting it for Star Citizen. So hopefully by then I can maybe afford a new processor, and that way I can play it and stream it, and my computer won't explode. Or do like it did when I started this channel, and my poor computer was just like, I was trying so hard, but it just couldn't get there. It was very, very laggy. So hopefully by then I can get a processor, a new one, and stream it in lovely quality. For me, Eve always felt quite still and doesn't care about immersion. That's what I don't like. I can see where you feel like that. Yeah, I can see where you feel like that. It's not for everyone. It's definitely, it's not for everyone. I like it. Oh, I got rid of my big old plants. Come back. Maybe if I smooth it correctly, come back. I'll fix my railing. I'm going to smooth the crap out of this whole thing, and I'll just fix the railing after. I liked where the plant that I had those. That'll work. I lost my cans. Actually, let's do this separately. Didn't keep me from playing it up. Yeah, good. I remember doing gate camps in Nullsec with bombers, rapers, and Loki. Oh, you're one of those guys now. Yeah. I did mostly wormhole PvP, which was very, well, sometimes it was very, very stealthy, very cloaky. And then other times it was very, not stealthy and cloaky, where it was all like based on super heavy ships, Proteus and T3s and all that good stuff. Spawning some sort of an amaze claim when he logged into Liberation Hoodoo. Oh, good luck. Well, you can always just grapple to the top if you really want to just get out of there. All right, bye, Eldrox. Thanks for coming back. Drakes, Drakes were so crazy before they've been nerfed now. They were so OP for so long. Just trying to smooth this all out so it doesn't look quite so crazy. Oh, incursions! I totally forgot about incursions. Yeah, there's incursions too, which are definitely more social because you can't do them by yourself. You gotta do them with people. And sort of the higher end of PvE. Oh, and there's drama to be had there too, for sure. Oh, I totally didn't mean to do that. That's not how that was supposed to be. Favorite ship of all time, the Drake. No. Proteus. That's a quality ship. Yep, shiny incursion fleets, absolutely. Tried that for a while. Wasn't really my thing. It was fun. Nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't really what I wanted to do. I think it was just still too PE. Actually, maybe I will go ahead and just stretch this out. Throw some rock under here so that it doesn't look like floating concrete. Try to do it with a few different natural textures so that it blends a little better. Whoa, chat got huge. All right, see you, Nova Spheres. Thanks for coming in. Oh, that's you, Trevor. Okay, I asked earlier, but you might not have heard. Yeah, I'm on Serenity Ledge. Right there. So my portal's right there, so I'm just northwest and over a couple of ledges. It's a little tricky. I always get turned around as soon as I hit these stupid mountains. As soon as I try to get over them, I'm like, where am I going? What am I doing? I've only done this like 15 million times. I need to grab a different texture just because I want to try to make sure that while I'm blending these different textures, I don't want it to look like I've done this. I don't want it to look like I sat here and did this. I want it to look like it just sort of happened this way. The land was originally like this. And so that's why I'm sitting here grabbing all these textures, and hopefully the smooth tool will make it all okay. Hopefully. And I get what you mean, Cole Knight. You mentioned earlier, like, well, if it's smoothing the edges, then it's doing its job. I get you, and I think we should also. I like the smooth tool as they talked about it, which is, or the way they talked about the new smooth tool, where you're going to be able to actually like, is that floating? It is. Where you'll be able to sand it away to nothing. I really like that because that gives you the ability to really make some different shapes, right? Because you can, yeah, I don't know. The world is bigger than it seems. Yeah, no, that's totally true. It looks like this is a short distance, and it is, but you, as long as you don't get sidetracked and end up going over here, which I always think do. Or I manage a lot of the time to get down here for somehow. I don't know how that happens, where I'll be like over here and be like, where's my house? Where's my house? And then I'll check the map and I'll be like, oh, it's okay, over here, and I'll start heading this way, and then all of a sudden I'm like in the desert. I don't know. I'm wondering if they will reduce the amount of islands and make the existing ones bigger. I hope. Well, I don't know. I seem to recall that the island concept, they could have been referencing the fact that the island tiers are going to be going away, which we've known for a while, right? Because they're going to change everything to resources will be underground and in different elevations, and so that's going to be how resources are divided rather than by tiers of island. But they also, I thought that they said something to the effect of, well, islands aren't going to be like, it's not going to be islands, it'll be like continuous game world kind of a thing. I don't know about that. I mean, it seems like the more people are active, then it would seem that could be a performance thing. Because like, I don't know. Is that this? This needs to be that one. I know they can't do everything with performance in mind. Like sometimes you just kind of have to bite the bullet, but yeah. The islands will be bigger by 9 times. Yeah, I think that maybe that's what they were talking about. It's been a while since they talked about that. I don't know. I think I'll cap this right here. Whoop. God, you probably can hear all that, huh? Where there's like a bus out there screeching. Motorcycles. My stream probably sounds like a dangerous place. Like, whoa, sounds rough. It's not, but. Ah! No. Stuck up. Where did. It's happening again. Okay. Continents might be connected through an ocean. Yeah. It's gonna be really, really cool when they put in water. Really, really cool. Maybe I'll just do this. Do it old school. I've been wanting so badly to make like water features and stuff. Like fountains and I don't know, just like little, like, actually, I forgot one of the things I was going to do with this place. I even had it in my my little sketch that you probably can't even see it because I drew it so lightly. But when I sketched this place out, I totally had in mind to put in little planter boxes that are sort of like jutting out from the house, like right here and right here. Maybe I'll go ahead and do that just to make it a little bit different, because right now I know the staircase is very reminiscent of the one I did before, but I'm on the same mountain, so some of the same shapes kind of will crop up just because it's all influenced by the mountain. I hope water's amazing too. I think it will be. Last I heard, they had turned it over. There were a couple of different teams working on it, like, because there's a couple of engines for this game, and so they had the voxel guy, like the voxel engine guy, working on it, and he was getting closer, but then like he was having trouble with like water. You know how like if water's in a cup, there's a little bit of a meniscus where it'll climb up on the sides a little bit, and that's just due to the properties of water, the way the molecules relate and stuff. Well, it was doing that, but it was like this, right? It was like, water was not behaving like water, and so they're still working on it. And then I think they have a different team working on it, so if I understand correctly, there's like the voxel engine, and then there's like the planet side engine, and I think the planet side of things is also working on it. Yeah, water was planned for phase 2, but I mean, And obviously I'm sure they're going to try to keep to that as best they can, but I wish that wouldn't bleed so much and have those like edges like that. I'll have to check. I know there's been posts about how to work around that. I'll have to kind of look into that, I think. Last video I saw was the Voxel Farm guy was a multi-shaped building, like imagining dragging a selection and pulling it 2, 3, or even more pillars along the selection. Really? That's cool. So it would be like, it sounds almost like a template that's like dynamically resizing. Am I getting that right? Like if you had like column template where it's like dynamically like stretching and spacing, sort of. Kind of, maybe. Sounds like that. It's flowing water that where like they had it great still, and then they started trying to make it flow, and then it was like doing this and climbing up mountains and stuff. Yeah, I can only imagine like trying to do liquid with voxels. I can only imagine. I have a really deep appreciation for that kind of stuff because, like I had said earlier, when I got out of high school, that's what I kind of wanted to do. I wanted to do it more for film than for games, but it's the same beast. Yeah. So that stuff really intrigues me, like modeling and texturing and concept art and all that kind of stuff. I just love it. I feel like over here there should be, I wish there was like I guess it kind of does work this way, but like, I guess that's totally working. Never mind. I was gonna say like a paintbrush where you could like blend it, like where it would auto blend. But I guess that totally is what's happening, just because the textures will blend together. I wish for something that already exists. Yay! Warm up my tea real quick. Hello, kitten. Hello, kitten. Are you coming to make a noise? Coming to be distracting? This should be darker as well. Can I grab that? Yeah. Hello. I've completely sacrificed. I've mentioned this before, but I've completely sacrificed my computer chair, because she likes to claw things. And right now she's got those little like rubber tips on her claws, so like I'm just like, yeah, go for it. But I figure it's this or the couch, and the couch was much more expensive. And so this poor chair is looking pretty bedraggled, pretty rough, but if it saves my sofa, I'll deal with it. No, honey, not the mouse. Come on. I'd have to completely encase all of my cords in. I have to have someone in this stuff. Yeah, where it like zips around, like where you have a little zip thing and it like zips around. Where otherwise, the only thing I can't do it with is like my headphones cords, and there's like little teeth marks. Right there, there's like a little teeth, where she's little tiny kitten teeth have just chewed on it a little bit. But she's actually chewed completely through cords before. That's how several webcams have died, because she likes the really kind of like the thinner rubberized kind of cords. So several webcams have died. Oh yeah, I really like what that's doing. How it's kind of, it actually really nicely balances out the fin. That's really cool, actually, how that kind of works. I feel like I need to work more on the specific angles. Like it's a little rough right now. Make it a little bit more uniform in some way. But I am liking, how's this going? If my cat is chewed through 5 of my headset cords, yeah, I mean like, and every time I never learn my lesson, right? Every time I still get, you know, the webcam will still be like $80, $100. And what happens to it? Right. Oh, thanks, Cool Night. I totally missed it. The link to, that's the voxel farm guy, right? Yeah, I'll totally take that. Awesome. And it seems like today's victims are going to be my files, financial files and stuff like that. Great. Awesome. It's like, go to do next year's taxes and it's like, oh, what happened to all my returns and stuff? What happened to all my, oh, cat happened. So let's see. What can I do here? I can make this. This can come one lower, or this could go one higher. Maybe I'll go one higher with this. I thought about getting a wireless mouse and keyboard. I have. I really like, I have the Logitech G110. I have two of them because I'm a moron. Basically, the way I've got my setup is not exactly optimal at the moment. I have two computers with two mice and two keyboards because that makes sense. And yeah, I have tried there's a thing that lets you basically use the same keyboard and it switches, but it kept like getting stuck on one side and just doing weird stuff. And especially when I was trying to do games, it was just a pain. So I'm going old school, and I have two keyboards and two mice all like right here. And but I really like this keyboard. It's got a lot of like extra keys and stuff. The railing's still off. Left side was 2 off, not 1. Yeah, they don't match for sure. Which I'm okay if they don't match. But I just want it to look right. I just want it to look right. And I think you're in your face, Jessie. Welcome. Yeah, this side is different. I think I might have been like starting to fix it and I just totally like got distracted. Like that happens a lot. I whip my camera back and forth. I don't know. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm like, oh, I need different vantage points. Logitech they often do have wireless versions of their products, and it probably would be wise to look into that. I don't know. I tend to have, I don't know. I like having the cord. I feel like it's a little bit more responsive. But I guess, like the mouse cord is actually encased in like a braided, fabric-y kind of deal. And so that one's pretty safe. It's just like the headsets. And the keyboard cord is thick enough. I think she mostly leaves it alone. It's the rubberized, like the really thin rubberized cords. Those are the ones she really loves. Hey, Pastor. Good morning. So those are even now. I don't know. I feel like maybe this should come down one. So maybe actually bring these both out one after having just done that. And then take this sucker down by one. Whoa. Selection tool gone wild. Ah! I had a wireless headset, but always forgot to charge it and ended up using the cord most of the time. And then the cat shoots the power cord. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I think I know how that story goes. Ah. Yeah, this feels a little bit like, just a bit like when I was working on the bedroom inside. I don't know if you guys remember, I think that was Saturday, where Serenity, I don't know if Serenity was having issues or if they were working on something or whatever, but I don't know when I was in here like doing the columns and stuff, and it took 3 times as long just because the selection tool just kept kind of freaking out and the dropper wouldn't grab the right stuff, and then, you know, I know, it feels a little like that. Hopefully it doesn't get that bad today. But Dat Alpha is what's happening. Dat Alpha. Second landing from the bottom, first step down. Talking about this? Talking about this, Jesse? I did this kind of intentionally. I might go ahead and actually cap that too. And iron, I think that'll maybe make a little more sense. That's great. Take it this way. That might be a bit better. Oh, because it's, oh, I see what you're talking about. Because it's too wide here, and then it's one wide here, so they start in different spots. I can fix that. Not how I meant to do it, but it'll work. No, the outside wall. Whoop. This one? Did I get it? Did I fix it? I don't know. That kind of stuff bothers me too. Like, I hesitate to call it OCD because it's not actually OCD. Like, it doesn't keep me up at night. I can sleep just fine, but the non-clinical sense of OCD. I don't know, like that stuff totally bothers me too. So I'm glad I could relieve your sense of balance. That's been bugging me because there's like a little hole right there. I don't know why. Okay, I'm gonna head back to the platform just to kind of see because I know it was bugging me. Yeah, we're at that point in the stream where my frames are starting to dip just a little bit for me, where hopefully the stream is still smooth enough where it's alright and audio is not lagging and that kind of good stuff, but it's making it harder for me to like grapple and stuff. So I start looking like a moron who doesn't know how to use grapple. I just enjoy it so much that I want to do it again. It's like a ride. You're at peace now. This needs to maybe scoot back by like 2. I don't know. I mean, like what? I mean, as you can tell, I didn't really follow a particular like rule set when I did this because they don't really match each other. Like it's all sort of ziggy-zaggy, but not in a very uniform way. But I'm kind of okay with it. I don't know. The part of me wants to be like, well, it should follow a rule. Oh, cool, Pastor. You know what? I can do a quick run around just so you can see the progress. And there's a lot of like half furnishing going on right now because for whatever reason inside I've just got this, interior ADD where I just like can't seem to focus on one space and finish it. And so there's like each room is like half furnished. But I'll show you. I could probably turn the claim border off. I had it on just because since I was working on the edge, I didn't want to unintentionally like butt up against the edge of my claim, which I need to fill that in. I have to remember to do that so that I don't have plants growing through my cement. Yeah, exactly. The outer wall is a retaining wall, so it doesn't really need to be the same. And it's also like not stepping down in a uniform way. But I think that's kind of okay. I don't know if that really bothers me. What does bother me though is I kind of want to have... I need to address that part of the... So again, we've got a lot of bare walls because I haven't managed to put in the art stuff yet. You come in, there's a little landing, bedroom in here, This will hold a little like chest or something. You know, like a little dresser, like a mirror. You know, I need to get some stuff going on in here basically. Haven't done it. This will have probably a little table with a little art thing, art something. I don't know. A little landing. You can see the kitchen over there. Again, needs art. Haven't gotten to it. Kitchen's right here. And yesterday I put in some stuff on the shelf so it looks, you know, somewhat plausible. Fridge is iron. Cabinets are iron with stone. Countertop and a marble backsplash. Pantry, which is in the same sort of state where I, you know, started to get things going, you know, get it looking filled up like a pantry, but haven't really finished it yet. And dining room in here. Spent a good part of the stream working on this yesterday, just getting the colors to blend properly. Thanks, Pastor. Fireplace, which is kind of, it's one of those things where I just particularly like it, not because it's particularly complicated or innovative, but I just really like it. The upstairs hallway from the bedroom, what do you think about a railing overlooking the dining area? I ran into issues with layout stuff. Maybe I might, but yeah, that could actually be quite nice because then that could balance out the wall. That's actually, I might use that idea if you don't mind. Might see about doing that because it does, the hallway goes right next to this area here, so it actually would be kind of good for just a little half rail where you could kind of see down. I like the way you think. And there's some furniture going on here. That's the combo of burled and striped wood. I'm going to see. I actually think I'm going to just really quickly restart the game client. So I'm going to put the away screen up for just a moment and just restart the game client because I think it'll actually alleviate some of the jumpiness. So one sec, guys. Alright, but we're back, guys. Sorry about that. Just sometimes I was just running into a little bit more choppiness than I was comfortable with, and I think it was starting to pick up on the stream too. Hi. Hi. Oh yeah, much better. I should have done that earlier. Oh well. Of course she's like, no. No, honey. No, honey. There you go. Okay. So I think I need to solidify the area underneath this and hopefully. Just thought that if I can't get to the plane, it's not gonna. Yeah, kitty cameo. So I guess I do kind of have a rule happening here, which is too high on the landings, except when it's not. And oh, that's right. I was gonna. This area is troubling to me. This could be pushed back by one. And same with this. There we go. Yep. Okay, so that got pushed back. And then maybe this should come out a little farther just to kind of give it a little bit more balance. I'm betting that the bug they have is from the claim permissions stuff they're delaying for tomorrow. I got the impression that it might be from, well, it could be from that because they said that they were having trouble with it. And I mean, we know they were having trouble with it because it was originally like in the game and then they took it out because it was causing bugginess. And then they said that last week in the stream, like they were trying to, like they really wanted you to be able to expand your claim in any of the six faces of the cube, right? Up, down, four sides. Well, I guess up and down, which I think a lot of people will probably want to go down. I guess they're having trouble with it. With being able to have the additional claim snap onto any of those faces. So who knows? And I think that's fine as long as they get it right. I think that's fine. They can have some extra time. This should be iron, huh? Yes, that needed to happen. Yeah. How are we doing now? How is this looking? I like that better farther out. Yeah, like they, like I remember in the stream, like they sort of were just like, yeah, we totally, like it's a problem and we totally don't know how we're gonna fix it. And so I was sort of like, wow, okay, well you got a week, I guess, so good luck with that. The amount of stuff they're pushing out though is so, it's really kind of mind-blowing to me how much, like especially in 1 week. Like last week seemed like such a, like it was all like bug fixes and stuff, which is significant too. It's just, you know, it seemed like sort of like there wasn't a high volume of stuff, of new stuff. Like they had a chest and that was about it. And it's like this week it's just like boom, all the new stuff. Not complaining though, because I'm finally gonna be able to work with other people. That's gonna be awesome. I know I've been talking about for days now. Oh yeah, and I thought of this when I was deleting the soil over here. I was like, I'm just taking away the home for little eremites because I'm sure they would have loved this little corner abode. Yeah, I do kind of need a planter right here, huh? Maybe like a taller one though, like something that size-ish. I almost kind of want to try to make a vase or like a slightly sculpted kind of a thing. But I've got a lot of angles going on here, so maybe not. That might be a little too high. Now that I see my character like up next to it, that might be a bit excessive considering it's like completely above her head. Maybe one like this. And maybe square because that'll bug me. So that's square. 5 by 5. So let's get rid of this one. Wish I could give you my vase. Yeah, templates. Whenever they add Player Studio, at least presumably there'll be a way to share that stuff for free as well. Like if you don't want to charge for something, like you just want to be like, here, have a template. I'm guessing a workaround could be setting up your flag low to the ground with a small amount going into the air and having the second claim snap to the top. Could be. Could be. I guess I'll just do it like this. I'll do that. I wish I could template like, oh my god, is this on my claim? No, it's too far. And I know they took away the ability to do that too, but if I could take that, stick it there, oh, that would be so cool. Whenever they finally do add literally anything like that, you know, like the ability to do any kind of like, no, not that one, like potted plants or anything like that, I will be super happy. So the reason I'm smoothing the ground is sometimes smoothing has the ability to cause like flowers or not flowers, but like grass and leaves and crap to spawn. So I'm trying to get that to happen, but it's not. I don't really want to make like voxel flowers. I tried that with my trellis on the last house, and I wasn't terribly happy with that, the way that came out. I guess I could make this a light here. Oh, I didn't fix that. I just saw that this is the wrong kind of stone. I could just like literally go put that over there. What would be really cool is if I could have like a fountain. I wonder if I could make like a ghetto voxel fountain, like with aquamarine, with the stone knocker. This could look really ghetto. This could look really bad, but I kind of want to try it. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna try this, and it could look really freaking bad. I'm trying to find that. Where's that? This too could be, if it's not lit. Okay, where was it? It was like metal ring. So 10 iron. Yeah, just, I don't know, like, and it has to be 3x3 without the bleeding. Okay. Grass needs 3 to, that was a 3x3 though, but without bleeding. So what did I just say, 10 iron? I'll do 20, overachiever. Oh well, held my mouse button down while watching where the planter went down, and now I'm in a vertical tunnel. Uh-oh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you can just grapple. Just grapple out. I firmly believe that should be like the first tool that anyone makes is a grappling hook of some form. Just because too many times have I fallen into someone else's claim before they had the auto unstuck, or like auto reset to safety or evac to safety. Before that worked, like I kept like, oh, I didn't make that thing. How many times do I do that? Like if, God. Metal ring. Yeah. There's a spot in front of my house that won't grow grass no matter what I do, and it's three wide and it has dirt. Yeah, this was bleeding with iron, so that could totally be it, where it needs 3 completely unadulterated grass. Yeah, this could look really ghetto or it could look really awesome. I don't know yet. And so I think I'm going to regret not doing this. Oh, what am I doing? I'm just going to go to my collection and get stuff. Maybe aquamarine and maybe sapphire? Like I could put sapphire in here like it's collected water. I don't know. Ooh, it bleeds. It bleeds. I don't know. I take no responsibility. I don't know. If I see my workstation, I can do that. Yeah, a grapple. Yeah. So yeah, the Stoneforge at the very beginning can totally do it. All right, I'm gonna have to fix the wall, but the. Okay, so this needs to, yeah. I don't know. Kinda? Okay, so now I need to fix the wall. So I need to get up above. Because if I delete this, it's probably going to delete the prop. Oh, I didn't. That's handy. I just need to fix my little. I feel like it should actually come up a little higher and burble out a little bit more. Burble, technical term. Yeah, like maybe it needs to kind of come out. Maybe like if I did like break all the things. But now at least it's got. Oh yeah, good call. Kinda. Get skinny, get skinny. Okay, and then I just need to smooth the crap out of that. And this should, I feel like this should actually be, like this needs, because right now it's quite boxy and this itself is actually really delicate looking. So maybe no, not that. Maybe like stone. Oh, I could kind of echo this design over here. That might work actually. So undo that. Undo that. Undo. I like how the stream is like massively changing its shape when I do this. I don't know. Okay, and then I kind of feel like, first off, this needs to be back to iron. I feel like two things need to happen. One, I feel like this needs to come down so you get a little bit more of, this is gonna break it. Break it! And hopefully I can do this maybe? Got some weird physics going on right here. I don't want to, well, I guess I will. I didn't want to like delete it and then reform it because then that happens. Come on. I guess it's going to do it no matter what. And then I feel like this needs, like this area here needs more emphasis somehow, like this entire I wonder what it would look like. I don't have any. I wonder what it would look like to have a lantern underneath. Maybe, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe a torch or a lantern. Torch will make it flickery, huh? Kind of like water. How the heck do you make that? Do you make that just like that? Alright, I probably have it. I do have it. Yeah, because I was initially thinking lantern, but the torch would probably give it a little bit, it would flicker the lighting so that it would, okay. I don't think it's going to show up unless I give it a little hole to work with. Actually, it'd be a heck of a lot easier to do this if I just do this. Might be a bit much. As far as I could tell, it doesn't give enough smoke to really do anything. Well, I just saw a little puff. That's pretty bright. I don't know if I want that to be that bright. Maybe a lamp might actually be more appropriate in this case. Although I do like the flicker. Try that with try it with a lantern. Oh, you did. Silver, please. It's a shame because the flicker was really quite nice, but it was just so bright. And I haven't yet found, I ran into this on a previous house, I haven't yet found a material that actually blocks light, that acts as a light block, because at the moment, it's going through stone and iron and all the things that you'd normally kind of be like, well, you shouldn't be able to see the light through that. You know, aquamarine I can understand, gemstones in general I can understand, but I did it again! I always forget. I make the metal or wood or whatever, and then I totally forget to go back and actually make thing. Got it right? Yeah. I feel like this needs a little bit more dark, like a darker, I don't know, I'll have to play with it. It's gonna do it too. Maybe if I like moved it. So it's just sort of a very subtle kind of a thing, maybe? About the internal ADD? Yeah, no, like, it's totally real. As soon as I get inside and I start to work on decorations, or like decor and furnishing and all that stuff, like, I can't stay, well, it's a little, maybe if I moved it up so it looked like the glow was coming like, can you see that? No. That works, right? Yeah, I constantly get distracted inside. Like, I'll start working on the bedroom, and then I'm all of a sudden I'm in the dining room working on wall art, and then all of a sudden I'm in, you know, I'm working on like a couch. I don't know. And I didn't have that problem with the previous house. I don't know why it's happening now, but I feel like this just needs more like a corner feature kind of thing. I don't know, like, I'm already having doubts about what I'm about to do, but let's try it. Let's give it a chance. And then like, I'm just gonna look at an H. Or like, no. Mm-mm. Like a band, maybe? Like, so, you know what I mean? Like, something's just missing. Something is gonna look like an H. Like, maybe like a panel, like I could do this in some sort of thing. Just means you got good ideas flowing and it's hard to focus. I'm gonna go with that. That seems like the most flattering way to describe it. Also, it could be just having the attention span of a gerbil. I don't know, like. Like this, I just feel like maybe I'm putting the emphasis on, maybe I shouldn't be over here, maybe I should be like here. Maybe like, I don't want it to match that. Crap. And here, so here, maybe stone or something. Probably iron. I was probably right to go with iron in the first place. And then maybe like sapphire? Or I could go the opposite way and go for like, copper will bleed. Agate? Not agate. Looks like baby puke. Probably sapphire or emerald, probably. Nope. Although emerald is something I will be using a lot in my next build. I'm kind of getting excited about it. I really like the combo of emerald and found it. I like the combo of emerald and iron. So I'm gonna do like a sci-fi type of, like high sci-fi type of build. I don't know. I don't have like a building plan yet. I just have that sort of color scheme and material choice. I like that, and I feel like I could probably stand to put, just for some detail, you know, like a band right here in stone, just to kind of balance it. And then, fortunately, because of that height, I don't think I want to continue it on this side, but let's try it. Let's see. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I kind of like that. Just it balances a little bit, because then, you know, you've got this over here and then big old slab of white, you know, it just kind of keeps it moving. Now this, I was actually thinking, instead of, so I think I might do this. I may actually lower the lip. Instead of having the lip be up here, yeah, it just breaks it up and just gives a little more variety for the eye. I think I'll have the lip maybe try it down here. See how that looks. Yes, I'm liking that better, because that eliminates that problem of having a weird like wraparound thing for stone up here, and just breaks it up a little bit nicer. Yep. I'm liking that. I'm liking the effect it gives right there. Let's see if I got the corner. Good enough. I'm good with it. Hey, Mad Moose. Good morning. Or afternoon, I guess now. I'm thinking about maybe borrowing this lantern, maybe downsizing. It's a little chunky and it kind of works for the next to the door, but I think I could downsize it a bit. And instead of 5 by, I think it's 5 by 5 or 6 by 6? 5 or 6 by 6. I think I could take it down to 4 by 4. I don't know. Because I want to get some light down here too. Right here. Just finished my EQN streams and sent my viewers this way. Oh, thank you! That was nice of you. Thanks, Mad Moose. Oh, it's just a little bit higher than the other side. Or than the railing, so it sticks out, but not crazily. This one's quite tall, isn't it? It's 10 voxels. Evening, 9 p.m. Where are you? Where are you, Pastor? Holy smokes! You guys are across the pond, aren't you? Ugh. And I'll be probably winding down fairly soon just because it is noon and I go from 9 a.m. Pacific to noon. But since I'm working on something, I'll finish it first and then go eat. I'm really hungry. All the hunger. Netherlands, huh? My old Corp and Eve had a disproportionately large number of Dutch people in it, and I always thought it was funny. Just like this big old world, and they were all Dutch. And I was like, how did that happen? Okay, I need to go make another lantern. I should probably just make these in bulk, but I don't know why I never do. I need to get some silver. So yeah, definitely, I think today's going to be a fun day because at 4 p.m. The official live stream is going to kick off. That's on the EQNL official Twitch. It's EQNL Landmark. Or EQN Landmark. There you go. So definitely worth watching. Dexala, the community manager, hosts it. And usually she brings on some devs. Well, she always brings on some devs. They change every week though. And they have like building tutorials and they talk about what's coming. And so if you haven't seen it live, it's really worth it, especially because you can win. What am I doing? You can win the codes for Prime grappling hooks. So totally worth tuning in live if you can. Although you guys who are, I mean, that'll be what, like 1 a.m. for you guys? So I don't know, that might be kind of tough. But for us Americans, it's a good time. Down here. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same that I did before, where I actually turned the entire lantern on its head. Because that way it hides this handle. I don't remember the ball being there. Is that just sort of the center of rotation? Maybe the objects I've been rotating, it was just hidden in the object. But I don't remember that being there. Off just a bit. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I would stay up to watch the stream. Trooper, wow. Yeah, I don't know. I would struggle with that if I was over there because I need my sleep. There we go. I don't know. Actually, I feel like this should be recessed a bit. Maybe I'll do that. Cut the whole thing. And do that. Maybe. I don't know. You know what? Because I think what's throwing me off about it right now is it's looking a little bit like a trash bin in like they have it at amusement parks or something, or like a fast food court or something, where you like, you know what I'm talking about, where you like knock the little tray in and you put. I may have to redo that. I'm not a big fan. I don't know. Well, I'm glad you like it, Rod Rev. I don't know. I'm mixed about it. I'm gonna let it sit, let it exist over there for a little bit and see if I change my mind. So I'm just going to pull back and show you how it's looking. So this is the current progress of the build. Probably got another day or possibly two, maybe probably just one more day on this build. I say that with hope in my heart because that's a lot of furnishing that I still need to do. But mainly my goal here was to have, I wanted an angled roof featuring a fin to kind of balance it. And I really like so far how the staircase is kind of, how it's working with the angle. I like that a lot. So now I've actually made the outside look like something. Got the little fountain working up here. Did that today. Little planter box, light. Still needs some art right here. I wish they had a more modern door, but it'll work for now. Need some art there. Need some art there. But you've got the little overlook into the living room, and I think it was Jessie had a really great idea about making this hallway also have a kind of a lookout onto the dining room, which at first my first was like, ugh, and I'm like, oh, it would actually look really cool. So I may do that. Bedroom is about half finished. The shape is good, and I like the obsidian ceiling. Obsidian is kind of funny because it's pure black, so you would think it would really enclose the space, but because it's shiny, it kind of works on ceilings. I kind of like it because it reflects the light, so it's not quite as heavy as just say like the dull metal iron, which is near black, but it's like a charcoal gray. It's much more suitable for a ceiling. Kind of makes it look dramatic. So I'll be putting a dresser here with, like, I don't know, a mirror or something. Maybe a table with some art. And I think I may incorporate the thing. Can't you light it up more? Yeah, I know. I need to work on it. I think a couple lights in here. At the moment, the lights are sort of buggy. They don't, the light doesn't spread very far at the moment. Come on over here. Again, needs art. Kitchen. Not sure why that's glowing. I think that actually might be some sort of moonlight effect, but not sure why. Oh, this sucker's on. Yeah, there we go. Kind of liked it though. Kind of works. Maybe I'll do the underlit countertops again. That was fun last time. If you are new to my channel, if you haven't seen my other builds, this is Modern House number 3. I've done 1 and 2 before it. So my YouTube channel, there's a highlight that kind of does a walkthrough when I wasn't quite done, and then there are actual YouTube videos that I've put together. It was like a 6-minute video. Little pantry that I'm still working on. More wall space needing art, and then the dining room. And these are just using some of the natural gem textures because they bleed together. It's agate, copper, ruby, and some rubicite. Because they bleed together. The rubicite and the ruby really have a tendency to kind of take over for some reason. But I don't mind it. It looks pretty cool. Cool. Double lived. Double Ivan. Double lived. And then some furniture I made with this combo burled wood and striped alabaster table. Yup. And then down the staircase again, I've got the basement with lots of storage. Again, very dark down here, still need to light it. Kind of a man cave with like a big old TV and, okay, man cave with some decor. Double lived, okay. And then a little mirror, vault, work table, and the whole bit. So it's sort of like man cave with garage, workbench. I don't know. So that's the current progress of the build. Like I said, I think I have probably one more day on it just to kind of, I need to stick in all the art, pull it together and make it finished. And I'm a little bugged by how this was completely smooth yesterday, and now it's decided to get all jagged on me. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, so once I light it up and decorate it, I think it's going to look pretty cool. We've still got a little bit of work to go. How much time did I spend in doing this mansion? I started over last Thursday. So tomorrow it'll be a week, and I think tomorrow will be my last day working on it because I'll probably do some stuff tonight, maybe during the live stream. Although, actually, I take that back. During the live stream, I'm going to be going to this place. I'm going to link it. there's a forum post talking about it. I'm just really intrigued by the screenshots, and so I really want to see how she's done it. I mean, she describes Moroccan microvoxels, which sounds super exotic and interesting and fun. And I'm using dirt. The white is stucco, so yeah, it's the dirt texture stucco, which does cause a bit of bleeding, but it's worth it because, I mean, at first I hated it because it has trouble blending with a lot of the other textures, but I think once you kind of play with it, I really love it. Or blending, like, it has trouble with, like, it was looking so stark and so white at first, but I'm really kind of loving it now that I've got some more other, textures and colors and stuff. So I'll see you, Dutch Tiger. So yeah, mostly working with, main color palette will be the stucco, polished obsidian, that's dark metal iron, or dark dull metal iron, and then that's the worked slate stone texture. All right, so that's the state of the build. Like I said, one more day to kind of pull it together and kind of finish the pantry and do all the little art bits and all that kind of stuff, just to kind of finish it off, make it look whole. Yeah, gotta do all that stuff still. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. We're about 15 minutes over, which always seems to happen. Did you actually have to collect all the materials? Absolutely. And by the way, I'm just pointing out, I'm just saying, not to brag or anything, but that's burled wood floor. The whole thing. Took about 7,000 burled wood, but, well, 7 or 8, somewhere in that region. But, just saying. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, it took a while. And the striped wood too. Fortunately, my island just grabbed some new striped wood trees, so it's easier to farm. Alright guys, well, hit the follow button if you enjoyed it. I stream EverQuest Next Landmark every Monday through Thursday and Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And I do other games as well. I do EVE Online and Minecraft. When I get the time. EVE Online is usually in the evenings when I can get my court mates on. So, alright, well, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys.